Hi, my name is Benjamin Tate, and my presentation is directed towards coaches, and the issue that I'm speaking about today is flexibility. I feel as if flexibility is undervalued in athletics. I think it's a great way to reduce injury as well as increase athletic performance. In terms of reducing injury, it helps to create greater elasticity within the muscle. According to the stress-strain principle, the greater the elasticity, the more stress that we are able to have without actually tearing the muscle and reaching the plastic region. In terms of increasing performance, we can look toward the stretch shortening cycle. With more elasticity in the muscle, our concentric contraction from the elongated state of the muscle will be much more forceful, and we will be able to generate more power. This bouncing that occurs can cause micro tears within the muscle that may not seem impactful at first, but in the long run they may resurface and show much harm within the muscle. In order to avoid that, we wouldn't even use ballistic stretching. We would either use a static stretch or we could use a dynamic stretch, which many athletes are starting to use. In terms of research, a few articles that I found I pretty much agreed with the point that I just made, that flexibility does help to reduce injury and increase performance. Researchers found that athletes with less flexibility endured more injury because they were unable to withstand the stress placed on the muscles, whereas athletes with a greater flexibility were able to withstand these stressors. Some research also showed that with increasing flexibility, there can also be a decrease in athletic performance, which is kind of interesting. The decrease in performance normally comes from static stretching, and researchers have found that anywhere between 45 and 60 seconds and below is usually a good time to do a static stretch without losing any athletic ability. Anything after that, then people start to see deficits in their performance. With that being said, many of my claims come from the research that I kind of just discussed briefly, as well as different principles such as the stretch shortening cycle, the stretch strain principle, as well as even the SAID principle. A coach's biggest rebuttal against this would probably be that flexibility, it takes too much time, it takes too much effort to kind of instill that in a program. And I think that that's wrong. It can be incorporated into the team's pre-participation workout, it can be incorporated into the cool down, or you can even set aside a solo or a specific session where the team gets together and does something such as yoga for an hour a week, and that'll even help increase flexibility. And just to conclude, the goal of athletic trainers is to keep athletes on the field, on the courts, or wherever they play. And in order to do that, they need to, one, be effective in what they're doing, and two, they need to be healthy. They can't be injured. Flexibility helps with both of these issues and makes athletes much more dynamic in the activities that they are performing. I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to my video. I greatly appreciate it. Have a nice evening.